few key tips on making a good graph. First, be able to identify your independent and dependent variables. This is important in marking your x and y axis for your graph. Next, identify what graph is most appropriate for the data you have. Next, label your axes. Be sure to include units, it's very important. Make sure you have a consistent scale on your graph. Use a ruler to keep your graph neat. Lastly, be sure to give your graph a title, a legend, and a key. These are easy points to get on the exam. Now let's look at the difference between independent and dependent variables. Independent variables are always found on the x-axis. A common independent variable used is time. Dependent variables are found on the y-axis. Examples include height, change in mass, or any variable that you are testing. Independent variables influences changes in dependent variables. Next, we must figure out if the data is qualitative or quantitative. An easy way to remember what qualitative is to remember quality. This means that the variables are descriptions. They are observed, not measured. Qualitative variables can be colors or titles like seniors and juniors. An easy way to remember quantitative is to think of quantity, or numbers. These are variables that are measured. These quantitative values can be time, length, volume, speed, and cost. Now we must figure out what graph is best for our data. Let's look at graphs for qualitative value first. One graph you can use is a bar graph, which is very simple to make. Bar graphs allow you to compare the sizes of the categories you are observing. In this example, I use grades because it's categorical. You can also use a pie chart, which is very easy to read. Pie charts allow you to look at what percentage the categories make up of the whole. Now let's look at common graphs for quantitative variables. The most common is the line graph. Line graphs allow you to look at the changes of one variable, usually over time. Remember to label your units on the axes. A bar graph can also be used for quantitative values. Remember that there are other graphs that you can use as well: histograms, scatter plots, box plots, etc. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.